Hello and welcome to our first quick tips video as part of... Today we're going to be looking at discursive writing, a couple of tips and tricks to get things right, and a couple of things that we need to avoid. Alright, let's put 3 minutes on the clock and let's get started. Tip number 1, discursives are discussions. This means rather than having one perspective or just your own perspective or idea that you're hammering down on, you need to foster an engaging and insightful discussion. This doesn't mean you can't have your own agenda in the piece. All it means is that you have to layer that subtly through your discussion of multiple points and perspectives. Focus on creating a meaningful discussion of a range of different perspectives. Discursive pieces are all about having multiple perspectives that are sequentially explained, then deconstructed and disproved, and within that you have threaded your own personal agenda or your own personal insight on what you think the right thing or wrong thing is. Tip number 2, make it engaging. One thing students forget about is the criteria that is listed on the back of their assessments. And always in the top column, no matter what assessment it is you're doing, it says creates an engaging and insightful piece of writing. And this is why I urge you to write about something that you have a personal connection to and you understand really, really well. Even if that is something that is really niche, such as being a really small character in an RPG game that you play, or some musical instrument that's only played in one specific part of the world. What I don't want you to do is hop onto the bandwagon of, oh, Black Lives Matter, let me write about that, or environmentalism, let me write about that. Don't jump on the hottest thing that is on right now. And tip number 3, don't give lectures. People don't want to be told how to live their lives, especially in ways they already know about. There seems to be a trend of giving lectures from a place of moral superiority rather than just fostering a meaningful discussion. And I have to be careful, otherwise this video is going to become exactly what it was made to critique. When you choose ideas that you're not really sure about and think are, hot topics right now and start writing on how people should perceive that particular thing or idea, what ends up happening is you create a really one-dimensional piece and you end up telling people this is the right thing, that's the wrong thing, and your whole piece comes off as someone who's talking down to another person who's completely capable of having intelligent thoughts and ideas of their own. If you are writing about social or political issues, make sure that you're talking about how to create change on a practical and individual level. That'll be a key part of making your discursive engaging and insightful for the viewer. And I think we've come in a little bit early on time. Let's just do a quick recap. Tip number 1, discursives are discussions. Make sure that you're talking about multiple perspectives and incorporate a meaningful discussion of the one topic at hand. Tip number 2, make it engaging. Make sure you're using things like anecdotes and humor to actually make your piece really engaging and connect with your audience on a much more relatable level. You don't always have to use humor, but even using things like second-person pronouns or inclusive pronouns like we, us also helps. And tip number 3, don't give lectures. Try to stick to your own experience or the opinions and ideas of other people that you are deconstructing and explaining why they might be problematic or helpful at looking at this issue. And here's a little bonus tip for everyone that made it to the end of the video. Go and read New York Times op-eds. New York Times gives 3 free articles each month, I think. And if you get a subscription, being a student, you only have to pay $1 a month or $1 every 2 weeks, which is literally nothing. You can ask your parents and they'd be more than happy to do that for you. I have a New York Times subscription and it's really, really helpful. You'll find that on New York Times, they have great ways and great writers who are showing how to write really engaging discursive pieces about issues that are different and unique because they are directly talking about experiences that the writer has gone through. Every single one of you has a very unique view of life, and I would love for you guys to use that in your writing. Don't get stuck into just one particular idea. Don't pigeonhole yourself like that. Even if you're asked to write a piece from the perspective of your particular character, each of you understands that specific character from your prescribed text really differently. But make sure that you always think about these 3 key tips when you're writing your discursives. Alright guys, that's all for today. If you'd like any other quick tips on any other topics, please let me know in the comments below. And as always, remember to take a shower. That's good.